Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good.
So this probably won't last more than like
8 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
No. It's I had took a last minute appointment and then I forgot to update my job and you that I'm going to be disconnected this morning. So
That's all good. Yeah, I'll be out camping this weekend, so tomorrow wouldn't have worked anyways. So short one's good.
I feel like you're outdoors. Is there such word as outdoorship, or is it probably not? Never heard that term. It sounds like when you go camping or you go whitewater rafting, I feel like it's a quarterly thing. Is that accurate?
Well, camping is during the summer. It's like every other weekend or every few weekends. Um, Whitewater rafting haven't been in years, but canoeing it's a year,
Oh,
usually a yearly thing. So
okay.
yeah, but
I
progress this
got
week.
uh yeah, I got like 4 services deployed. Now I've gotten to the point where all right, so I got 2/3 of the services deployed for bootstrapping both the courier application and the customer application,
Hmm.
in which I have my API keys stored in Azure SQL database, which to me is fine initially, right? And then like my my backend services that talk to other backend services, in which they only get triggered because of a client. I'm like, do I really want to keep on hitting this SQL database to consistently load in the same API keys? So the client app will bootstrap, and during the bootstrapping process, it'll make a request to some service. That service will then make a query to some API keys and some feature items to figure out if that client should have those features or not, right?
Hmm.
And then later on, the client may make another request, right? But then it's hitting another service in which the client already has the API keys that it needs, but the service doesn't. And so for that service to talk to another service within my Azure resource, it's supposed to hit the same or make the same query every single time that service happens to get hit, or every single time that specific function in that service. So for every function within a given service, and there's multiple services that have multiple functions, every single time they're supposed to query my API tables or my API key tables. I'm like, no, that's not right. And so now I'm exploring Azure Key Vault, and it sounds like that's designed to address the issue where within your resource you manage your secrets, and
Yep.
hopefully they have within the implementation details they optimize and or cache the stuff so that I'm not racking up expenses repetitively hitting the same or performing the same queries that really shouldn't be queried every single time for every single Azure function, for every single request. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm exploring as of like the last hour. Because I'll try to squeeze in time in the morning. And so that's where I'm at.
Cool.
Are
Cool.
you familiar with any of that Azure stuff in regards to
Uh,
secrets?
yeah, I mean, Key Vault. I think I've used before, but I just kind of, wired it up to a website or whatever, and it's pretty much good to go. So, um,
Okay.
yeah, it's better. I mean, to keep your secrets, it's better because I think it's encrypted at rest and everything too. So there's some security reasons why you'd want to use Key Vault over a SQL Server database.
Even for a client, or is it
Yeah,
just,
well,
or is it just designed for the back end system?
it's a good question. For the client, I'm not really sure,
Okay.
because it's kind of, I mean, if you're authenticating to Key Vault to get a key, you're pretty much giving away the keys
Yeah.
to the kingdom.
In this case of my clients, they don't authenticate. It's only until they commit to ordering something that I have enough information for their identity. But initially, there's nothing stopping them from viewing the options of the application, and then when they get ready to order something, then I take their information, because I feel like if I take their information, as soon as they launch the app for the very first time, they'll just leave the app. And so I want to give them the ability to see what the app has to offer, which does require hitting some API services or hitting some back-end services to accommodate their user experience before they commit to giving me money.
Yeah, but those services shouldn't require any authentication, though, right? They're just open, or
Well,
I mean,
by
or do
default,
you have a hard-coded like API key for just a sanity check?
on the client, it's not hard coded, but what? Tell me how dumb this is. Okay, so I wasn't able to figure out how to use git ignore for like a C# file, for like one C# file, right? And so like I'll hard code the API key and then deploy it. No, how does this work? Yeah, hard code the API key just for deployment, but not check it in, and then revert back and replace that hard coded key with just a question mark. So it still compiles, and then I check that in to source control. And I know I'm going to slip up sooner or later, but I don't know any other way of really hacking that. I know
So
git ignore is the way to go, but then like it won't compile for other people if I happen to have like a partner or employees, right? So
yeah, do you have so are you using app settings, or like
for a
app
mobile
settings
app,
is
there's
just
none of that stuff
okay?
that I'm aware of.
All right. Um,
I mean,
yeah, because I was gonna say, if it's a web project, like in Visual Studio, anyways, they have a way to manage user secrets, so that you don't check it in. It basically just overrides your app settings, but that file doesn't get included with a,
yeah,
you know,
no,
can't you
with
put it? Couldn't you just put it in like your I don't know, put the file in a, well, you should be able to git ignore it, but you could put the file too in a like, isn't there like a .vs folder that gets generated that's ignored by default? Or
there is. Regardless, if I ignore it, it won't compile for other people unless I do some ceremony or something, because it's still a C# file or an F# file that gets compiled with the rest of the files.
oh, okay, so this is an actual like, oh, okay, so it's not in a config file, it's an actual
No,
like code file.
yeah,
Yeah, when I meant hard coded, I meant in like a, like a JSON file that you could load in.
yeah. So like
Um,
I literally like deploy with the hard coded key, but before I check it in to source control or back into source control, I swap out that hard coded key with just a question mark.
Even in the commit history.
But I know I'm going to end up forgetting one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't the key get carried over in the commit history though? Then, if you, unless you're doing it right before every commit.
Right before every commit, which
Or you do
is
it every.
accident prone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'd move it to just to a flat file somewhere that you ignore and load that in. But
outside of that, this weekend I will try to employ Azure Key Vault if it does what I think it does in regards to sharing and optimizing for my backend services that rely on secrets that are shared. And I'm inching closer and closer. So that's it.
cool. I was looking at Akka.net, I think last time we talked. But now I've shifted. I want to look at Microsoft Orleans.
I thought that was deprecated.
No, not as far as I can tell.
Okay.
I don't know if it's being actively developed on. I'm
I
guessing it is.
don't think so.
Uh,
I think Akka had more recognition and more usage than Orleans or whatever you want to call it.
I guess the easiest way is to look at the GitHub repo, right, and see if it's still being developed on. I don't know if it has, like, if they're still adding a bunch of features to it, or if they just like, hey, we've created the framework, it's done. It's got 562 issues. The last commit was like 9 days ago or something. So
Okay, there you go.
yeah, as far as I can tell, it's still going.
Well,
but Orleans seems like it's got like an easier orchestration model around the actors, with that virtual actor system that they use, where it just seems like it's a simpler approach to get started with concurrency and stuff. So Akka's got a lot to it. It's just
yeah, I know it's kind of overwhelming.
yeah.
It's like learning. I mean, I'm sure it is a new paradigm, but man, like I had a hard time following it.
Yeah, but Orleans seems like it's a little bit more I don't know, straightforward, maybe.
Yeah.
Documentation's a little better. So
I gotta take off. I'm sorry.
alrighty, no problem.
We'll catch up next
Good one.
Thursday. So see you.
Yep. Bye.